She's obviously very highly sexualized the entire time, right? Not at first, because she's celibate, blah, blah, blah. But once she's assimilated by V'ger and then she comes back, she literally shows up in a shower. That's where she reemerges, is in a shower. Okay, so like this is
of all things.
Like I'm having flashbacks to the Man with the Golden Gun, right? Like we got a naked chick in the shower. She comes out of the shower, of all places, wearing a very short robe, and she's already some kind of weird sex alien, right? So now we have the weird sex alien in a short robe.
This is a mechanism.
A probe, Captain. No data sensor or transceiver combination. Recording everything we say and do.
Because now she's the voice of V'ger, right? She's a probe. She's a mechanism. She's a mechanism.
She's like the mouth
V'ger.
of Sauron, but hot.
She's the mouth of Sauron speaking for this entity.
Yeah. Who is V'ger?
V'ger is that which programmed me.
And she's saying the whole goal is to join with the creator.
What does V'ger want with the creator?
To join with him.
To join with the creator. How?
V'ger and the creator will become one.
Which is odd because it's like its original mission was just to bring back information gathered from space. Like Voyager's mission was to go out into space as a space probe, get information and come back.
Right.
So how does that then become, she, in her words, join with the creator, right? Like when the was Voyager programmed to come home and join with the creator? If Ilea had said interface, I need to interface with the creator, or something, along those lines, that would have been more in line with its original mission, right? But join and, as she says, become one is overtly sexual.
Right.
So, like, do those weird sexual undertones, does that come from Ilea's latent sexual desires?
It is a program mechanism, Commander. Its body duplicates our navigator in precise detail. Suppose that beneath its programming, the real Ilea's memory patterns are duplicated with equal precision.
They had a pattern to follow.
Indeed. They may have followed it too precisely.
Ilea's memory, her feelings of loyalty, obedience, friendship, might all be there.
Specifically, her having desires for Decker. Like, is that why this is happening? If Ilea had not been assimilated, would this weird sex stuff still be there? The moment that Ilea was assimilated, does that mean that all of a sudden, like, V'ger is also sexualized? You know what I mean? Like, I get that her species is super sexual or whatever, but so are humans. So why is she so important? It makes more sense now that, what you've laid out, but like, I haven't been given that information by the movie, so I don't know that.
There's information that I wish I would have known too. Like, I kind of wish I had read the Thy Image script, because again, idea was like Lieutenant Ilea.
You shouldn't have to read a script to understand the movie.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, to answer more of your like thought questions, is like, well, was this in the original script? Because the idea is this character is supposed to be in more episodes of Phase 2. That's not what happens in this script, because they changed it, because they made it into a motion picture.
Yeah.
A major motion picture. But
a slow motion picture.
A slow moving motion picture. But I'm curious if that stuff had stayed the same, how different would the script would have been? Would that whole sequence of her becoming the probe, would have that still been the same? Because when you watch this movie, wouldn't it make maybe a little more sense or something where, like, because Spock had already sensed this thing, why doesn't Spock become the probe?
This thing is talking to Spock from the beginning of you're 100% correct.
Mr. Spock? Spock, tell me.
I sense puzzlement. We have been contacted. Why have we not replied?
Like, I didn't even thought of that, but that's 100% true. Like, if it's going to pick anybody, it's going to pick Spock.
And he's on this obsession mission. Like Spock kind of lays it out to his friends. He's like, I'm not here for the Enterprise, and because you guys are in trouble. That's not why I'm here. I'm actually because I'm having a midlife crisis. Yeah, totally. Madonna style.
Die another day, Madonna's midlife crisis.
Yeah, he's having a Madonna style midlife crisis.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to cue that music. In there.
I'm gonna break the cycle. I'm gonna shake up the system. I'm gonna destroy my ego. I'm gonna close my body now.
And he's like trying to figure out his life because he's like, I don't know if I need to be a Vulcan. I don't need to know. He's trying to figure himself out.
Yeah.
And then this entity is reaching out to him, and he's like, he's now on a mission to figure out what the heck this thing is.
Like, it literally sends him away from the Kolinar to go figure out, like, what is this thing talking to me from space?
Like, I'm hearing it. I'm going to go to, and it's like you would, in another script, in a different iteration, you would have probably gotten rid of that Ilea character, and it would have been more about Spock in this thing.
Yeah.
And it made it a little bit more cleaner.
What I'm getting at is that the stuff I like about the story and the meaning of the story is more in line with Spock than it is the weird Freudian sex stuff with Decker and Ilea.
Right.
Again, I get that her species is super sexual or whatever that they never explain, but so are human beings. So why is she so important when V'ger had already swallowed up entire civilizations of life?
I'm seeing images of planets, moons, stars, whole galaxies all stored here, recorded. It could be a representation of V'ger's entire journey.
V'ger has swallowed up galaxies, basically. Like, we see planets and moons and all kinds of stuff. So the only difference with her is that instead of immediately becoming a data packet, like V'ger is just like turning everything into data.
When my examination is complete, all carbon units will be reduced to data patterns.
She walks around the ship with Decker, who tries to tap into her emotional memories or whatever.
Good. He's using audio-visual association.
Is that why when Spock flies through a giant butthole and then a giant vagina, he discovers the giant form of Ilea? Is assimilating Ilea a much bigger deal than assimilating a fucking galaxy or all the planets and moons and shit? Was V'ger's goal before assimilating Ilea to simply interface with the creator? But once she was assimilated along with her sexuality, did the goal then become join with the creator?
V'ger! We are the creator.
That is not logical. Carbon units are not true life forms.
We will prove it. We will make it possible for you to complete your programming. Only the creator could accomplish that.
Fulfillment of programming is one thing, but evolving/having sex with the creator is something else entirely.
The creator must join with V'ger.
Because again, like I said, join is more sexual. Like, why would a probe want to come home and join with the creator? It would deliver the information.
Order up the ship's computer library records. On the late 20th century NASA probe, Voyager 6. Specifically, we want the old NASA code signal that instructs the probe to transmit its data. And fast, Uhura, fast.
Aye, sir.
That's what it's been signaling. Its readiness to transmit its information.
And there's no one on Earth who could recognize the old signal and send a response.
The creator does not answer.
To be one with God is a spiritual matter.
The antenna leads are melted away.
Yes, Captain, just now. By V'ger itself.
Why?
To prevent reception.
Of course. To bring the creator here. To finish transmitting the code in person. To touch the creator.
Capture God.
But they take it one step further into the Freudian with V'ger the child desiring sex with its parent creator.
I'm gonna key the final sequence through the ground test computer.
Decker, you don't know what that'll do to you.
Yes, I do, Doctor.
Seven heavens. I know there's no greater feeling than the love of family. Seven heavens.
So it kind of conflicts with the fulfillment of programming thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, Voyager goes out, Voyager comes home, delivers information. Now Ilea's like, I want to creator. You're like,
right,
is this just because he, like, to your point, had V'ger chosen Spock, would that change things? Would it still be saying, I need to join with the creator? Like, would it suddenly be this weird Freudian sexual stuff had it been Spock? Probably not. It would have just communicated with everybody clearly.
Speaking of Spock, because this changes. This is one of those things where I'm like, there is a moment Spock does say this because he's mentioning this when they're getting to the ship, right? When they get there, they're all trying to figure out Gray's shields to do this, blah, 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 blah. Decker says something like,
They may have attacked only as a warning to us, Captain. To keep away.
maybe that was a warning. Maybe they wanted to do warning. And Spock says no.
That would presuppose a feeling, Commander. compassion. I sense no emotion. Only pure logic.
So they talking about this thing being pure logic, just pure logic, no emotion, pure logic, and he understands logic. But later they mention something about Ilea, and that's when we get that whole Decker scene where Decker's like, where they're like, Decker, you pimp her out. Like you used to know her. You guys used to.
Yo, Decker, we need you to dick her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's up? No, but what they're talking about, like Spock and Kirk are talking about, well, like, oh, it recreated all of her memories, all of these things that are a part of her. Does that mean it recreated her emotions? You know, like that kind of thing. But the thing's pure logic. So do these things compute? I don't know. But it's kind of what you're talking about in reverse. It's not so much V'ger, but we're also talking about the probe that it creates, even though that's not her.
What I'm saying is beyond that, when Spock goes through the butthole in the vagina, all of a sudden it's like a giant form of Ilea.
I am now quite convinced that all of this is V'ger. That we are inside a living machine. Ilea.
It's like Ilea's a huge deal, even though she was like, we've taken a step back. We've seen in this movie alone, we've seen V'ger assimilate a whole space station, a bunch of Klingons in their ships, and like that means nothing. All of a sudden, the entire identity of V'ger is being rewritten by Ilea. Why? What is so fucking special about Ilea? Is it just because she's the current probe? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, imagine this. Spock flies through the butthole, he flies through the vagina, and he sees a giant form of a Klingon. And it's like, now V'ger is ultra violent because it assimilated a bunch of Klingons or something.
But I don't know if that's... Yeah, I get it, but
Like,
I don't know if
saying
that's
that
what
would
the
be the
movie's...
equivalent.
I don't think that's what the movie's trying to do, but yeah,
I don't think either, but why is there a giant Ilea? What is the point of a giant Ilea?
But
Is
there's
her
another
weird
moment-
Deltan sexual thing so powerful that it rewrote V'ger? Like, is V'ger like suddenly over the course of like 1
she's
minute
adapted to that?
V'ger
I don't
is
know.
now a sexual teenager that is like struggling with sexuality and what that means and all that. Like, you know what I mean?
There's another moment in that scene where like the orb thing means something, and they're like, I don't think we ever really got what that meant. Like the thing on her neck. That's the thing that signals to us that, it's just a probe.
That's like a camera.
But
They're
when he
basically
goes
like, it's a
into her,
camera.
but when he goes into her, into the like visions and stuff, he's like, the orb thing must mean something. Like he says something along those lines. You're like,
oh, when he's floating there and he's like, the sensor. I
must
must
mean
mind meld
something.
with the sensor. Because it's never a sensor, right? It's a sensor.
The sensor must contain some special meaning. I must try to mind meld with it.
Right?
yeah, but he
And
says something about
mind
like
melds with it.
the orange orb thing that's on her neck, and he says something that must mean something or it has some significance. And then I don't know if the movie really ever
Okay, wait, you're talking about two
delves
different
into
things.
what that is.
You're talking about two different things. The Ilea probe has a thing
Right.
here on her neck that's like
that is true.
recording
Now
everything.
the giant Ilea,
Also has a big shiny orb thing on its neck.
but he says it must have some significance, and then we don't really.
Well, then he mind melds with it.
Yeah.
And then when he mind melds with it,
I saw V'ger's planet. A planet populated by living machines. Unbelievable technology.
Spock suddenly knows everything, right? Like that's why that's happening, because he did the mind meld. So to your point, if these two Ilea sensor things are the same thing, could he not have just mind melded with the small Ilea to get the answers he needed without launching himself through the butthole? In fact, in the Changeling episode, this is exactly what Spock did.
We are nomad.
But my whole point is that it seemingly randomly chooses Ilea to become a probe. But then is it because Ilea is so super sexual that it like does it literally change V'ger to the point where now V'ger is does have this like weird sexual element? Here's what I'm ultimately getting at. Let me continue because this is what I'm ultimately getting at.
No, get
Beyond
to it.
all the freaky weird sex
Get on
stuff.
with it.
Yeah,
Get on with it.
It's the longest episode ever.
Get on with it!
It is.
We should make this a really like McCurdy. McCurdy.
There's like a 10-hour version of this episode where you stretched everything.
Suck my dick.
Anyway,
Thank you for watching that clip.
if you'd like to watch the full episode ad-free, please become a member.
Live long and prosper, and get
However, first things first, set phasers to maximum and destroy that like button. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about how nice I look in my brand new uniform.